was in the budget. And it's being held back. And one of the explanations that I was given as to why it was, it says, want to make you aware the current budget situation is mine, but I wanted to take a moment to make sure you're aware of the current personnel spending trends and actually to spend the 2019 budget amounts. The jail and the road patrol. It says it's been made crystal clear that the Board of Legislators will not allocate additional funds at the year end to cover these gaps. Is that a true statement? Is that basically how you feel?
I guess I'm the chair, I need to say something. I mean, you know, the thing is, last year, we said it wouldn't happen again. And I don't know if we got the money or even the taste is here is to bail you out if you're over. And the way you're looking at your record, I mean, not that way, but looking at the report we're seeing, at this point in time of the year, your overtime is in jeopardy of you making the end of the year. So what we're kind of, now is the time that you can find it in your budget, not be dumped on us at the end of the year.
Right. Can't find it in my budget. There's nothing there in the budget. The last 8 years of being your sheriff, I've been held to a very minimal budget, and I know some of you are going to disagree with that. That's because some of you fail to listen and understand what it takes to run a secure facility in a professional manner, and what it takes to run a safe community in Lewis County, and the resources that it takes to do it. It's not easy. All of my personnel go above and beyond the hours to work and to give their time as they should. I only have a limited amount of manpower to cover a large area, 1,300 square miles. Some of us are 1,300 square miles. We have a north and a south. One deputy to the north, one deputy to the south, and if we're lucky, a supervisor in the middle, on top of all the other duties the road patrol supervisor does throughout the day and the evening. A domestic call takes 2 officers on any agency you go to. It takes 2 officers. That ties up the entire patrol, leaves the county unprotected. It's dangerous. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get killed someday. We had a drug problem in this county. I said that back in 2011 when I ran for sheriff. 2012 when I came in, I did the best that I could with what I had to try to control it. It wasn't working. Then we really hit a real pattern in 2016, 2017, a lot of drug overdoses. I couldn't stand by idle and keep telling constituents, I don't have the money, don't have the funding. So I took 4 people in the road. And I told you about that. I showed you that team that I put together. And we knocked the living heck out of a lot of the drugs in this county. Thank God with the cooperation, some of the help from the state police when they had it. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my guys. But then, where do we lack? Back on the road. So you have to pay overtime to cover shifts that guys can't work anymore because they've already worked their limited amount of hours already. I did my best there. Now that we have, the drug team in full force doing what they can with what they have, there are costs that we're going to be involved with that. And I explained that when I came and told you we had a task force, what we needed to be done. In the jail, I don't know how many times I have to come and explain. 8 years. I've explained every year that as long as you have that governor and you have that commission in Albany, and he puts mandates upon all of you and upon me, and we don't fight them back, it's going to cost you. It's costed everybody across the state. But we're feeling some of it now. When an inmate goes to the hospital, it's not one person, it's two correction officers going. And then if it goes past 12 hours, it's another 2 correction officers going to relieve the other 2 that were just there. It's 4. And that's what happens. We had a $45,000 or $50,000 flight bill for an inmate, I think it was the year before, that'd be flowing out. That wasn't in the budget. Can't predict that. I don't think that I've been unreasonable in trying to run this agency as I have over the last 8 years. I think I've been pretty good at it. And it's the point where you can only ask of people for so much, for so long. And then it starts to burn people out. Or what happens is the people that are on the other end of receiving the services, such as the community, starts to affect them. I don't want that to happen. I'm doing my best not to let it happen. The only way I can do it is that when I bring a budget to you at the beginning of the year and present it to you, and then I'm asked to cut it to make it work for the rest of the county, and I try to tell you I can't cut, but I'm forced to. I'm forced to by you, all of you. I'm forced to. I keep telling you it's not going to work, and here I am today to tell you again, it's not working. It's not working. I am not frivolously spending money. I am not handing out overtime like it's candy or giving it out. I can barely get guys when I call. I have to order people anymore. Not ask them. They don't come running in. I gotta order them to come in. And then, what do I get then? I get pushed back from the union around here. And the union busts my chops. The public doesn't know this. They know it now. Hope they watch it and listen to what I'm saying today. They don't deserve that, the public doesn't. My people don't deserve it. You guys don't deserve it. You represent everybody in this county as well. I understand that. I just want to do our best, that's all. I'm not overspending our money in our budget. So, I just want to be here today. The county manager has the items that I asked for. It's well within that budget that I have to acquire that equipment that I'm asking for. And what I'm upset about is just what I basically just said about presenting a budget, then being told to cut it, and then I cut it, and then being told to operate in a budget that I couldn't operate in to begin with. But the one I presented you the first time around, I could operate in.
Could I just interrupt you for a second? We
Yes.
never asked you to cut your budget, did we?
Well, that's,
Stay within it.
we asked, I'd have to go back and look at my 2019 budget request, what came from the sheriff's department, but typically every department, asks for more, and then we have to put it in context and reduce. I mean, before it comes to you guys, it's already been cut a lot of times. Yeah. That's pretty standard. I will say this, that from 18 to 19, the jail budget, we increased 3.6%, which, considering the 2% tax cap, is, more than we're usually able to do for most departments. And the road patrol budget, we increased 9.7% year over year. So we're doing more, and I understand where you come from, Sheriff, there's always more to be done, but we're doing more on the balance sheet for the sheriff's office than we are for many other departments.
Good, I'm glad. It's about time we got that. And I'll tell you what else it is too again. I'm going to say this. Your unions, I don't dictate what the guys make. You do. The union does. You negotiate with them. I don't. That's what costs you there too. If it's salaries that have to be paid. They have to be paid. These men and women can't work for nothing. They're risking their lives for everybody out there. Guys inside the jail. I don't know if you know a lot on things, but if you see in the state prison, what's been going on in our state prisons across New York State, because the media won't put it out there because the governor doesn't want you to hear it. There's been riots all over the state of New York, all over inside the prison systems. Ask about that. It's getting to be violent. It's getting to be violent again. Why? So we're taking in a lot of people who are on drugs, and these drug programs that they want to try to fit in. I don't know. You can't afford the whole thing. Albany is pretty much cramming things down your throat that you can't handle, and somehow you got to stand up to it and stop it, because this is where it suffers, right here. With agencies like us, and we're feeling the pain. So yes, I understand you increased. You had to. You had to pay the guys. You had to pay the girls that are working there, the men and women. But it didn't increase because we were wasting any kind of gasoline, or we were paying ridiculous exorbitant amounts of overtime or anything like that, no. Hey, I've been in office 8 years, I haven't had any new furniture, I haven't asked for furniture. And what minimal raise you give me, I appreciate. But I haven't come in here and asked for a raise. 8 years, I've never come and asked for a raise. Never. Matter of fact, when I first took office, I took a $10,000 cut in pay when I came in. So I'm not complaining, I'm just asking that if we present a budget to you that we already know is what we have to have, please, pass that budget. Then when I don't work with inside that one, then you can kick me in the behind all you want. Then I agree with you.
I think that, nor does that letter say that we wouldn't fund your request, just at a later date when we had a handle on, where you were at with personnel. It doesn't say that we're not gonna do it, it just postpones it to later time in the year.
So,
It says, listen, doesn't matter, it's here, it's printed on a computer, you can read yourself. Basically, what I'm just saying, gentlemen, and ladies, is that I'm doing the best that I can for you. All of our people do the best that we can. We are not frivolously spending the taxpayers' dollars. And I think you're getting a hell of a service from our people up there that risk their lives every day, inside and outside. So when they need something done for the job, they need equipment for the job, when they need training, I'm gonna do everything I can to keep them safe, so they can keep all of you safe. And not in a poor manner, in the best manner you can to keep the county of Lewis safe. That's all. That's all.
so you guys requested $3,239,000, and we budgeted $3,061,000. So we ended up cutting $178,000 from the total request.
Okay.
With that cut, we still increased the overall budget year over year 9.7%.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that no other department got even like 2%. So putting it in context with every other department and with our 2% tax cap, we can't do more.
I know, but you're talking to the wrong guy. You're talking to the wrong person. The hospital has to be funded, I know that. I know the hospital does, I'm gonna go there. And they get pretty much everything they want, pretty much every time they do, and it's an important area, I agree. But I've been telling you for 8 years, like I'm telling you now, don't fight us, go fight Albany. Go fight Albany, and you don't fight Albany enough. No disrespect. There is one man who went down there with me. I always bring it up every time. The legislative king went down with us during the radio, and he fought with me. I appreciated that. He knows that. That's what I'm saying. I'm as frustrated as all of you are. I'm just trying to do a good job and keep our people in a good way. And it's just a little upsetting to me when I get some news or I ask for something that's already in the budget that was approved. I can't get it to outfit the office with. That's all. That's all I'm saying. All right.
It's not that we're taking, you still have the same budget you would give. But what it is what we, like we said before, and I'll say it again. What we appropriate is yours to spend. So but what it looks like, the way you're going with overtime, to stay within budget, you've got to find some compensation somewhere else within your budget. You still got the total amount to spend, and I'm not being
I know.
back and forth. It's just that I think you think we're taking it away from you. All we're asking really is to stay with what we originally appropriated, and looking at it, and something may miraculously happen that you're gonna be within budget. But right now, what we're seeing, it's a major concern that you're not gonna be. So we're potentially just throwing out figures. What we're looking at is additional $100,000 that if you can't make it, that we're gonna have to come up with.
I understand that. Let me ask, Mr. Manager, you just said that we cut back how much, the 1.5%?
$78,000 that we took off of your request.
And if I had that 100,000, then maybe I would meet my budget that I originally had put in. That's my point. That's all my point is. So like I said, I'm not, guys, and ladies, I'm not here to, we all have it tight. What I'm upset with is 8 years, and I am not happy with what I see there. And I wish that some of you would either agree, chime in, or say, let's get together. The legislators.
Well, I
Albany's
guess-
killing you. Albany is killing you.
Just to comment, and I agree wholeheartedly on
Okay.
that. And I guess make a comment, you said nobody's gone to Albany with you. I have no idea when you went to Albany.
Well,
No,
Mr.
I just.
But you're right, Mr. Osborne. You're right. And you know what? You don't have to go to Albany with me. But when you go to the NISAC meetings, and they come in there and feed you all a line of bull,
Oh,
what they do, and they lie to you,
I agree.
call them out. Because I stand up proud in my association with my 62 other sheriffs as one of them. And I'm a few of the outspoken, and thank God I do it. And I tell them where to go shit in their hat when I can.
But then I also sat here and without getting into, and I've heard the term since I got here, micromanaging.
I didn't mention anything about that. But
No,
okay.
but I'm just saying that that's a term that we always hear.
Yeah.
We have no idea, and we maybe don't even need to know why all this overtime is. And I guess some of the thoughts here, and maybe I'm talking over my head, is that, here's a budget, we gotta try to stay in it, whether it's you or us or whoever. And maybe it's 150% valid. There's extra, like you mentioned, you gotta send 2 to the hospital, and, the helicopter ride. I look at that and say, my God, that's absolutely ridiculous.
It is.
And I know you had nothing to do with it, and neither did I, but we gotta pay it.
Right. Yes, sir.
But I guess without getting into the micromanaging, without stopping up to your office and, okay, why, what, where for, and we don't need the answer, but it's kind of a good idea when we get questioned, how come there's 3 sheriff's cars at Sliders at Beachhead Bridge? How come there's 3 sheriff's cars at the A+? Granted, they all gotta have a lunch.
They do. That's
But-
right.
Cause I've been there and done that.
Right.
Do they all have to go to the same place?
At the same time.
And some of it's minor stuff.
Right.
Branningham Boat Patrol. Friday afternoon, there's nobody on that lake on Friday afternoon, but the boat's out there. I don't know.
I know. I understand that.
Yeah, and I can see where you're coming from with it, it's frustrating, you ask for this, that, or whatever, and it's needed. I agree, it's a very dangerous job. When I went to police school and the FBI agent said, I wouldn't wear that badge on my chest for nothing, because all it is a target. So, yeah,
I know.
I know what you're saying.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I want you to know. I just said my fight's not always. It's not fighting with you guys. We have to work together. I understand that. But I would like to see us take more of a fight to Albany when we can. That's all. That's all. That's another conversation probably. But that's my frustration. I'll tell you right now. I'm proud of this. You see, the marijuana legislation didn't pass, did it? Didn't pass, did it?
No, the last I heard it was still in.
That's right. You know why?
It hasn't been shut down though, just so you know.
It's gonna be. Today's the last day. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be so, it didn't get shut down or anything. I'd be like, let's hope to God it does get shut down. You think the budget now is not enough? Bring that on. And what bothers me even more so is that each county has the right to not have a dispensary in their county. You as legislators can vote that out. You can. That's what I'm hoping you
We've
push
already
back.
discussed that. That if it was passed, it would be something on the table for us to bring up, if we wouldn't want it here.
Beautiful. Outstanding. That's how it should be.
Yep.
That's how it should be. That's what I mean. Just things like that. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that wholeheartedly. But because the Sheriff's Association finally stood up, instead of all the guys trying to go along and get along, cooperate with Albany and do this and that, we shut that down. The governor made it clear. He said 2 things happened. The New York State Sheriff's Association and the Teachers Union. The same people that he likes, technically, and wants to work with, but we shut it down. I'm proud of that. So that's all, that's all I'm just saying, things like that, so. I'm not gonna take up any more of your time. I appreciate you listening to me, and I'll do the best that I can. I promise you that. And feel free to ask me anytime. We'll give you a detailed report of where things are, where it's at. When it comes to narcotics, I can't give you that. I'm sorry. There's a lot of things that are confidential, and people would be in danger if I did. But I can tell you, is there money being spent there? Yes, there is, because with that enforcement comes a cost to do it. And that's where I have to, also help out the district attorney a little bit too. It's a difficult and expensive process to keep a handle on the drug situation. That's just not here. That's all across the country. So we do it to the best of our ability with the people that we have, and I tell you, they do a fantastic job. For the people that I work with here in this county, and coming from a city environment where I had unlimited resources, we did pretty much, and we work with gangs, a lot more murders and violent crimes. With what our people here, you people should be proud of your citizens that became these deputies and now have taken on the narcotics in this county, because they're going to find out just how dangerous this world is out here in Lewis County. And I'm darn proud of them to step up and put themselves in that kind of harm's way, because they've done a lot for curtailing a lot of lot less overdoses than we've had before, and there's a good reason for it. So that's it.
Just as a positive note, we didn't fund your full request for $470,000, but we did give you $300,000 over your last year's budget.
You did, and I appreciate that. I do. I do.
Which, as Ryan points out, is more than any other department even came close to.
No, and I appreciate it. I'm just letting you know, like they said, I want you to know we're not purposely doing anything to exceed anything. We're working as tight as we can. You got the mow down coming. That's going to be another thing right there. So believe me, we're trying to find ways to pay for that too.
We had mow down last year?
No, sir.
I would suggest you just kick them out of town. We don't need to spend any more money on those kind of people.
No.
Cost out of that.
All right, well, thank you for listening. I
Yeah, I don't see nothing.
One weekend total cost.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Thanks. Thanks for listening.